Welcome to another episode of Life in VR podcast show. I'm your host, Saint. And man, we're coming to you from a brand new location here at Blender Cycle shop, where it is located in Santo Domingo, Calle Jose Reyes 51, La Zona Colonial. You should check it out. Fresh smoothie. So we always have a drink, but today we're going to have a smoothie. As always, cheers, my brother.
Salute.
Pink and chink. Today we are, can't cheers without drink. Today we are joined by my main man, Andrew. Typically, we do interviews with people that stay here, but he's been coming here so long. He's seen so many changes. He has so many knowledge for you young guys that want to start making VR your second home, your third home, or just want to get outside of the U.S. or wherever you're at. So we're going to bring in. So without further ado, it's an honor and a privilege to introduce you guys to Andrew. Andrew, talk to me, man. So like you told me before, like, man, you've been coming here a long time. So how long exactly have you been coming to DR?
You know, before I break into that Saint, I know I got people on Facebook that follow my travels, been through the years. I've been in every region on this world, so you know how it is. Andrew Bell, a.k.a. Cat Daddy, a.k.a. the Arabian Cat, a.k.a. the Bay Area Cat. And I'm coming to you live with my man Saint at the Blender Cycle here in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, in the Colonial Zone. Of course, you can't see it, but that's where we at. Now, back to your question, man. I've been coming down here 4 years, man. I've been coming down here 4 years.
So you done see some changes.
I done seen quite a few, man. What people don't realize about the DR, you have to research and stuff, because that's what I do. I'm a big statistic nerd, and I like to know about what I'm going. The DR has the fastest growing economy in the Western Hemisphere. Mm-hmm. It's faster than the US, it's faster than Canada, it's faster than Mexico, pretty much all of South America, who's economically decimated. Mm-hmm. So make no mistake, the DR has money coming in here.
A lot of it, a lot of it. Yeah. Just a fun fact, DR typically accepts 25 cruise ships a year. That's it, 25. And in the next 2 years, they will accept 250 cruise ships.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they have built 4 new ports. They used to have only Puerto Plata, Santo Domingo, and Samana, which was a very quiet port. They only accepted 5 cruise ships out of those. Now, just that alone is going to accept like 75. How do I know that? One of our last guests, the episode will be available soon if it's not already. She works with the whales. So, DR is one of the destination for whales when they hibernate. So that's why between February and May or April, all the whales, you could go in DR and see the whale show, see them, all that. And now those cruise ships going to be coming year round, so it's going to be bad for those whales. I just learned that. But that's just a fun fact for you. But coming here 4 years, man, like, I know 4 years ago, life was different because COVID had just happened or about to happen. And I've been here 7 years. It's just been a different life. But what is some of the changes you specifically have seen over the 4 years to really got your head scratching beside the economy going and raising and getting so high up there?
Well, the DR, first of all, I like to say, the DR to me, and I've been to a lot of Latin countries, the DR to me is always like my second home, man. Like I said, I come down here consistently, not once or twice a year. I'm talking about every month, every other month. I'm typically down here. And what I've seen is a slight cultural shift in the way people think. Because when people think of DR, they think, okay, you're in an island somewhere and people don't know what's happening. Oh no, people know what's happening, and they becoming a lot more, how should I say, westernized or Americanized with the way they
word all the time,
and that could be good and bad, because you starting to see like prices have increased.
A lot.
But from the time I first came down here to like this, I got here on Friday, and I'm like, well, wow, man, prices are increasing, and the way people think. Now we take away from the economy and the construction and things like that going on, but if we talk about just culture and people, they still have their culture. Because one thing I do like that stays the same is the fact the DR just have a vibe, man. I mean, if you go, not so much to Malacon, so much here in San Domingo, I mean, that's fine. But if you go to the Malacon, which is boardwalk, Spanish for boardwalk, for people who don't know, up in Puerto Plata,
Yep.
if you go up there on the Saturday or Sunday afternoon, evening,
Dominoes,
man,
barbecue, music.
the music, man, they have the barbecues going, they have their little cooler with their little sip in it, and people it just comes alive, man. You just get
You
in
got no
and
choice.
right,
You got
man,
no choice.
You probably can't speak Spanish, but they don't really.
There's one person that always speak a little English,
Yeah.
enough to try to make you feel comfortable, and they'll invite you.
Yeah, man. It's just that vibe. And like I said, I would say the big three right now, where people go to, Dominican, Colombia, Brazil. Those are the big three Latin
Yep.
countries, right? And they all get their own different vibe. But for me, man, that DR, and not only that, because what people, and even unfortunately some DRs don't like to acknowledge their black heritage, their African heritage. What I like about the DR, my friend always say, DR people are a prettier version of American people. Because if I took some of these people from the DR back in my hometown, Chicago, out in California,
Yeah.
whatever, you would think they from there until they start opening their mouth, especially
Yep.
the women.
Yep.
They come with a rainbow coalition of different people.
Yep.
So that's what I like the DR over the other ones, even though Colombia and Brazil has a big Afrocentric community, but it's kind of like they kind of put it in the background. Where here, there's no putting it in the background. It's out in the forefront.
Certain. But you just said something cool. So, like you said, you've been traveling, you even got your own channel, you already gave it a shout out. But what's some of the difference between the three countries that stands out to you?
Well, the food is definitely, and I'm not gonna lie, don't come from my head, people. I'm like Dominican food. If you got somebody's abuela, which is grandmother, or tia, which is auntie, or their mother, or somebody can
Just
cook,
like back home. Just like back home.
The food is gonna taste better. Because I done been coming down here and I done had chicks take me to their crib and they aunt, they tia, cook. Food is delicious.
Yep.
But this restaurant food,
It's all the same.
yeah, man. I don't really care. I got certain restaurants here that is cool. Like I went last night to this spot called Boga Boga. Because when I stay, I'm normally stay over in the Blue Mall area, so that's kind of like the hoity-toity type area.
Yeah, what we meant.
Right. Because you got a spot over there, right?
Yeah.
And so, but the food, I was looking for something Mediterranean. I'm like, this is not Mediterranean, not like Middle East Mediterranean.
Yeah.
So the restaurants to me, man, I don't care for it. Colombia, their food is but it depends on what city you go to. To me, Medellin, the food tastes a little bit better. Bogota, forget it. But Bogota, if you had went there and you noticed, Bogota is very dreary. It's very wet and cold because it's one of the city. It's a city with one of the highest altitude in the world. So if you go from Cartagena, where it's like Miami, it's sun and fun in the sun, and people walk around half naked.
That's more my vibe.
And you go to Bogota with that same outfit on, you will freeze your ass off.
1000%.
And I come from Chicago, so I'm used to the cold, but it's gonna be chilly for them. And Bogota looks like Gotham City off Batman. I kid you not, it's real. I be waiting for the Riddler or the Joker to come flying up out that piece, man. It looks like Gotham City. They're like more like a New York. It's kind of grimy looking.
Dark.
They remind me of 1980s New York, man. Cartagena, of course, is like Miami. It's, if you've been to Miami or something like that, they got that Caribbean vibe to it. The food there, it depends on where you go. Medellin, to me, in my personal opinion, is the better city to go to. Especially if you like to party. I'm not a big partying dude, but if you like to party and stuff, it's more of it looks like a city that was dropped. They carved out the jungle and they dropped the city in the middle of, I'm telling you, if you come from the airport coming down to Medellin, it's one of the most beautiful sceneries you're ever gonna see. It looks just like they excavated the jungle and they dropped the city in there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
surrounded by mountains and trees.
Beautiful place. Brazil, I'm gonna be honest, Brazil is like the 5th largest country in terms of land mass. I'm giving people these geographical
but
lessons
there's not
here.
a lot of development.
I'm gonna tell you, most of it is jungle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a lot of.
You know, I've only been to Rio. I mean, I've been to Sao Paulo just to fly in, but I've only hung out in Rio. Like I said, they got a big Afro Latino community. I think what's that city or state called? Bani or something. It's called
If you know it, drop it in the comment.
Bahia, I believe, and I think it's the main city there is Salvador, and they say that's a big Afro Latino community. But I've just been to Rio, and I know people gonna come for me. That's fine. I'll take the smoke for people that love Brazil. I can say Rio. I'm not gonna speak for all Brazil. I don't care for Rio, man. To me, Rio is kind of overrated.
It's been around for so long. That's the one place you go if you're going to go to Brazil. You're going to Rio.
Yeah.
And then it's Americanized. No matter how you look, it's Americanized plus the Brazilian thing there. And they know that's where everybody's coming. So I personally have one of my good friends is Brazilian. She's from south of Brazil. It takes her like 8 hours to go from flying into Rio to get to her small town.
That's how big the country is.
Yeah, that's how big the country is. But yeah, I get it. But if you have to rank, what would you rank them food-wise? Dominican
first, Colombia second. South American food overall, with the exception of maybe, definitely Peru. Peru got great fruit. Chile, it's okay. Peru, to me, ranks, in my opinion, ranks some of the highest in the Latin American world. Mexico would always be number one.
I was going to say, Mexico
I don't care what none of y'all say.
Yeah. Mexico got the best food in Latin America.
I seen a video online a few months ago where, of course, they was in New York and stuff, and they was like, rank the food from the Latin countries.
Oh, I saw that too. That said Puerto Rico, Dominican.
No, they said Dominican, deal with Puerto Rico. And I'm sitting here like, nah, that's a lie. Mexico, I think only maybe 1 or 2 people said Mexico. I'm like, are y'all crazy?
Yeah,
Mexico
I seen that same video.
Has the best food in the Latin countries. To me, after Mexico is gonna come Peru. Because South American food, if you like carne, which is meat, if you like, meat.
Brazil, that's all they eat.
But Brazil and Argentina, they got a lot of meat.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be dry. If you want condiments like barbecue, salsa, salsa de barbecue, any of that stuff, steak sauce, you can forget it. They just gonna give you meat.
Meat. And then always like some kind of sauce, but it's not barbecue.
Right.
It's just like a oil base, cilantro.
Right. They get crushed up cilantro, pour some oil on it.
Yeah.
Here, take that. I'm gonna tell you, I can't stand outside Peru, South American food. Now, if it's somebody that can tell me a better way to get some real good Brazilian food, don't tell me Fogo de Chao, don't tell me Texas de Brazil, these Brazilian steakhouses, let me know. But I can't stand Brazil. It is bland. And I'm not the only one to say this. I am not I just had a friend that came from Brazil, and she was saying the same thing. They food, it don't get you something on your stomach, but
they don't use a lot of seasoning.
It's not flavorful.
Yeah, they just use salt, pepper, and one other thing, and that's it.
As for an enchilada, a salad, they're gonna give you some shredded lettuce, some shredded tomato, some cebolla, which is onion, and if you want some sauce, you get oil and vinegar. I mean, dressing, oil and vinegar. That's it. So I can't stand South American food. It is not delicious to me. So to me, Brazil would be last. Now, if somebody can think differently, I'm all hearing. My opinions are subjective. I'm not saying that what I say on this podcast is going to relate to everybody, but if you look deep, you know what I'm saying is some facts to it. But yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I'm with him. Mexico ranks the number one food. If you know me personally, y'all know I'm Mr. Taco. It's not just tacos, enchiladas, tamales, everything, man. Like a good carne asada. You take a steak, you saute some onions, some peppers, and you open a nice. You can get a cheaper steak and open it, put some cheese in there, saute it all together, and chop it up. It's not dry like you were saying. It's delicious, and I can eat it just like that, or I can eat it on top of some rice, some potato. It's like Mexican is one of the dishes. Now I'm getting hungry, y'all. You can take everything and mix it together and it tastes better. Like some food, you can't mix everything and just stop. No, I can take anything Mexican and put it all together and it tastes good. It's delicious. So I'm with him. Mexico has the best food in Latin America. Obviously, Haiti's number one to me.
Oh, Haitian food is good.
But we going Latin. Yes, Haiti's Latin, but we still more Afro than Latin. But now talk to me, man. Like you said, we done this, we done this. What do you have some word for the young guys or the guys that's just now starting to do what you've been doing, right? I say this because I live here and I meet some guy my first time or my second time. And some of them straight up try to tell me it's been like 4 or 5 times, but based on what they're doing, I already know it's their first time. I just had somebody stay at my apartment, my Airbnb, and I try to help them. Hey, what do you like to do? What's this? What this? And he tells me, oh, I travel everywhere. These Airbnb have this, and this. I'm like, see, I know you haven't traveled everywhere because you're telling me things if you were in a hotel. You going to the lobby and asking them to give you soap to do this. And I just let it be. But what do you have to say or to advise these young guys or these guys that just now got the passport? They done seen Pastor Bro, their friends are going out there. Give them some advice, not just about DR, about traveling, that they really need to learn and before they put themselves without money, or like that thing I see on there, oh, I just met Maricel, she loves me. Like all these things, they fall in love after 30 seconds and the whole check is already gone. Give them some knowledge.
Saint, brother, you done just hit on the nerve with that one. Now, first of all, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a fucking passport bro. I'm, you know what? I'm one of them nomad, Lone Ranger types. I don't need to belong to a collective in order to justify anything. I'm not dumping on the passport bros. You know, that movement started and got picked up popularity around COVID. I done seen a lot of the Manosphere Passport Bro podcast. And hey, kudos to them brothers. But at the same token, when you have certain people to make something look bad, you know, and I've seen some of these jokers, and it's not just the passport bros, it's people in general. A lot of folks are cornballs, man. And people can look at me probably think I'm a cornball. I know I'm not, but you know, that's a personal opinion.
That's true.
You know, but I look at it, it'd be a lot of people that be traveling, these young cats, old cats, or whatever. They screw up the game, man.
1000%.
They be cornballs.
They just giving away whatever, and then now that girl told her cousin, and that girl, and that's one of the biggest things that I've seen over the last 7 years. It used to be selective few, not just women, people that had access to something. They would teach you a class, they would do something you felt like. But now I'm a man, even every woman think they deserve the world. And that's not just here, that's everywhere in the world. But like these Latin countries that used to be a prized possession, to go in these countries, to feel like a king, to feel like, yo, I live here. Now exactly all the past world, these things. I've never seen one episode. I just know what they are. I don't know who they are, but you look, that's one of the biggest things that I see. And just like everyone think they deserve 200, 300, 400. And it's like some guy is doing it.
I'm not just even limited to that. It's like this, man. You know, when I see some of these passport bros and how they shit on American women, especially American black women, I don't like that. And I, you know, being an African American man, you know, 85% of the women I have dated in my life have been black women, right? Pound for pound, I still would say black women are the best women on this planet. When you're talking about looks, sex appeal, style, intelligence and education. If it was not especially for African American women, if it wasn't for them, the African American race would be really in bad. We'll be down bad. The sisters be holding us down. Now, they say the sisters got an attitude problem. Hey man, you can't have the thunder without the rain. But I done been around enough of this world. And like I say, I don't really trawl up to Europe because I'm not into Blanco mohair like that. I don't have to explain to you what Blanco is. If you don't know what Blanco is, Google it. I'm not really that big, and I see beauty in all women, but my choice is the sisters and them Latinas, man. I love me some Latinas.
Are they still Latinas are still African?
I always say that God made Latinas for black men. It's not to say they don't like the Latino brothers, but It's something about that connecting with Latinos and black men. It's
a perfect
dynamic.
fit.
But like I say, I love my sisters. I love Latina, especially if she Afro-Latina. That's even better. So I hate to hear these brothers shit on the sisters, and they'll talk about the single moms. They'll talk about how women in America, whatever, always with their hand out, they begging. But see, here's the thing. Now you talk, and I'm not saying some of that isn't true.
Yeah.
But in America, and I don't know what kind of women these dudes be meeting, but I meet women in America, they got their own cribs, they got really good jobs, they got better jobs than most men, especially black men. They got, if they got kids, they not around here looking for somebody to give them something.
But that's the levels. That's the levels.
But see,
If
it's
you
based
dated,
on what you attract.
Exactly.
So if you attracting these types, or you one of them dudes that's walking around with your Johnson in your hand, always, hey baby, you sure look good. Hey queen, good morning, beautiful. Slide in the DMs every day. You're gonna attract what you are putting out. Same thing with the woman. If you attracting clowns, or you always gotta have every picture you got on your social media, you gotta have a booty pose, little duck lips, and all this other goofy stuff. You lead with your ass, you're gonna attract assholes.
Exactly.
So you get what the energy you put out. But what I'm saying is they will dump on the sisters, and then they'll trawl up to these countries. It could be Thailand, it could be them European countries, it could be definitely these Latin countries, because they're not used to seeing this level of beauty.
They'll do the same thing they say they won't do in the States.
And you're gonna go and trick off. You want to be with a single baby mom in America, but you coming down here with Jennifer and Esmeralda and Maria,
and you're already taking care of her.
And you ready to move in with her 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies. You going back to America because you
sending her,
and you Papi Dinero. You sending her money all the time. So what's the difference? What's the difference?
There is no difference.
What's the difference? Why? Because she might look a little bit better. Because let me tell you something.
And she give you love. She make you feel good while you're here. Soon as you leave, one of our guests, Mark, told us, she's not your girl. It's just your turn.
Bro, that's a worldwide.
That's worldwide, but he says it here because it's so true. Like you said, you come here, she makes you feel good. Soon as you leave, she's texting you, but she's texting 4 or 5 other guys. And then now the problems come. Then there's issues. And if you started off giving money, you led with your money, that's all it is. Soon as you don't have that money left over, she's on.
Fellas, when you start off being a trick, leading with your wallet, you're gonna be expected to forever and always be a trick. And that's not just a Latin thing, that is a worldwide thing. Because that saying, T.I. said, oh, they tricking if you got it. That was the dumbest stuff I've ever heard in my life, man. It's tricking if you got it too, because guess what? If you keep on tricking, you won't have it for long. Exactly. And what Mike Tyson say, once the money goes, so does the hoes. So I'm not gonna ever be putting somebody else's situation both for my own, because when you come to these countries, they're economically at a disadvantage.
Sure. Exactly.
I can't speak for nobody else, but saying I'm not running no poverty alleviation program. I'm just not. And have I, slid a chick some dollars? Now, number one, I don't do pay for play. You guys, some of y'all might do that pay for play. I don't do pay for play. If a chick, I can show you text messages and from Tinder and all that stuff right now. When I get off the plane, between the time I get from my airport to the hotel, I probably got, and this is no exaggeration, I'm not saying no bronze or diamonds, bro, or none of that stuff. I probably have about 40 Tinder swipes. I don't even get 40 Tinder swipes in a year back in America.
Exactly.
But down here,
that's all they're doing here is sitting there waiting.
If you know how to judge character and you intuitive, you can look at they pictures. You can look at what they saying. If they saying anything, if they have short-term fun, she's a Putin. Yep. Hands down. If she's saying still looking, odds are she's a Putin. Yep. You still looking.
Trying to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. New friends.
New friends. She's a Putin. And I'm not saying this is 100%, but 90% of them, yes, it is.
If it's on Tinder, it's 99.8%.
I'm telling you, because
here in DR, if it's on Tinder, it's 98.9%.
If you are, don't come here don't come to none of these countries looking for love. Can you find a good girl? Yes, you can. I got a knack, bro, for meeting quality women, and that's everywhere I go. Nice looking women, quality. And when I try to talk and educate these women, when you desperate, don't be desperate, because men don't like you coming out just asking them for stuff all off the rip. Create a vibe to where the man be like, oh yeah, you cool? All right, you know, you need some, yeah, you know, I kick it down. I meet some cool, and I've been coming down here 4 years. I know a few cool little chicks down here, whatever case is. We done hung out, we done did what we did, you know, y'all read between the lines with that. And if they hit me up one day and be like, hey, you know, Andres, man, I'm down bad, man. You know, the kids starting school, man, I need help with school supply. I'll break them off and send them $100 or whatever the case is. I mean, I'm not rich, but I'm cool. You
100 will make them feel, especially if you hung out more than one time. You did what you did. You went to dinner. They cleaned, they cooked. And I think that's what a lot of the guys fall in love quickly, because they get that clean. Because that is something U.S. women don't do anymore. That nurturely women thing. Even the businesswoman, and there's a young lady, I won't say no name, I met her in my building too. Shoot, successful young black woman living in Manhattan, like on the, I'm sorry, she lived on the other side, but on the water, gorgeous. And she has that lady, but a lot of women, black, white, they don't really want to be a woman no more, like, cater to man. But if you meet one here, that's what a lot of the guys fall in love. So they quickly, but for you, what we're saying is, yeah, I came, we hung out, we had dinner, we went for drinks somewhere, you came to the crib, we have fun, then you clean, you cook me something. Shoot, in 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months, and you continue talking to me without me asking for nothing, and that school come around, hey, school starts in 2 weeks, and you know, I'm down bad. Of course, sitting at Hundo, it's cool, she took care of it, but guess what? That also gives you the opportunity when you do come back, someone like yourself that come back frequently, you can reach back out to her like, hey, I'm in town. You want to go get some dinner?
Yeah.
She's going to say yes.
Because, bro, I'm going to tell you, well, see, with me, I'm a self-sufficient person. You know, even back at the crib in the States, you know, I can cook, I can clean, I do laundry, I can repair stuff around the house. You know, I make money. You know, I'm pretty successful. I'm a traveler. I check off all the boxes. Now, I'm only 5'7", so if a chick looking for a 6'3", you know, I'm not perfect. I don't have the height, and I'm cool with that, you know. But other than
that, ain't all that cracked up to be. They make you reach for things.
Right, man. Other than that, I check all the boxes typical women want. Right, so I'm not one of them dudes. Man, I'm self-contained. I don't really need no chick to, you know, be an indentured servant, man. That 1960, I cook and clean and rub your feet shit. I'm cool with that. I don't need that, because be honest with you, I don't trust everybody cooking. And I do have trust in, because I don't want nobody cooking for me, giving me nothing to drink, and they might slip me a Mickey or something. And so I'm not saying that happens.
Colombia stories.
Oh, Colombia, man, that's their thing. But here, it's not really like that, but still in all, I'd rather, because I'll be coming down here most of the time by myself. So therefore, I move differently, man. I'm 53, all right? I'm not gonna be the old man in the club. Because if you go to Dominican, Colombia, Brazil, Dubai, Thailand, Chicago, New York, Haiti, whatever, a club is a club, a bar is a bar. What is a man you going in there to do? You going in there to get some drinks, some overpriced watered down drinks, and listen to some music, and you trying to see the chicks. Dude, I had a game come to me, man. I don't be going to them bars and clubs, because you see what happened, unfortunately, to that club here a few weeks back. Man, killed over 200 some people. And I'm not saying that's everywhere, but bro, see, I don't go in these spots. I come, you know, if I want to entertain somebody, you know, I know how to call somebody up. Hey man, I'm in town. We go get, like I said, get something to eat. We hang out, because these chicks, they can't afford to do that. Do you understand, as a foreigner, you are enjoying these people's country better than they enjoy their own country. I know more about the DR than people that was born here.
Oh, of course. Some of them never left their blocks.
I talked to a chick, man, just coming down the Colonial Zone. Bro, she never been down here. She never been down here.
I know more about here than her.
You know, I was here one time. I took her, you know, to, was it Halu, you know, up there where they play live music. Bro, she had the time of her freaking life. She didn't even know down there, the main strip. She didn't know, well, what's down there? I said, man, it's a bunch of store stuff. He said, I've never been down there. So I'm gonna tell you, a female is a female. I don't believe in disrespecting anybody, even if you a puta. A woman, even a hoe, don't want to get treated like a hoe all the time.
Yep.
So if you selling tail, I'm not going to disrespect. I don't respect what you do, because that's the lowest thing a woman can do for herself is sell her body. I don't care what nobody say. But and men do not respect no prostitute. But if you are like that, I'm not gonna respect what you do, but I'm not gonna disrespect you as a person. All right, because I understand. See, down here, don't let nobody tell you that it's no opportunity here, because that is a lie. Like I told you, this is the fastest growing economy in the Western Hemisphere. They have money coming in this country. Now, of course, like most Latin countries, the government keeps most of it. Yep. But, they have money coming here. I see women with their business clothes on, they walking down, because, like I said, I'm over there by the Blue Mall. So you see that strip, you see them going to office buildings, hospitals, they work in the airport, they work in these malls, they stores. They got jobs here. Yep. But the thing is, the money might be slow, and they figure like, I'm busting my ass, and I'm only getting $250 a month. So I can go out here and sell some ass, and I get a couple of dudes, give me $100. I be seeing chicks not trying to charge $150. Coochflation. This is the coopflation is happening.
$150. They hardly at $300.
And it's like, you do what you want to do with your money. Number one, I don't pay for play, but if you do, and what am I getting for 300?
Yeah, that I
can't get for 50 or 60. It's the same used pussy. I'm sorry, same used trim. So what am I getting different? So see, that pay to play is too transactional. It's no, I don't need you to be in love, but that you come in, if first 5 minutes you want to do some weak little lap dance, and then I don't even like that. I don't do the strip club thing, and then you want to try to get me off. I mean, I'm not a 2-minute, 2-pump Chuck type of dude, so that's not gonna work, And so you wanna try to get me off, and then go in the bathroom, spray out your little twat, get your little money, and rotate to the next mission. I don't like that, man. So I don't deal with it. But like I say, for the ones that do, they get that money. So you, in a couple of hours, depending on how many missions you got, you probably could make $500. So why are you gonna work? You did that in one night. So why are you gonna work a whole month and only get $250?
True.
But I tell any woman, that stuff has a shelf life.
Yep.
And in the Latina years, you are considered old at 35.
Shoot, 30.
You consider old. So therefore, if you are 40 years old, still trying to sell some trim, you have lost.
I've seen it around here.
I've seen it too.
And it's like, wow.
You have lost.
I've been here 7 years. I've seen you do the same thing every day. Like
you have lost.
We in Zona Colonia, and I've been doing all this blender cycle. Again, make sure y'all come check us out. 51 Calle Jose Reyes, La Zona Colonia. I walk down the main street, El Conde, especially nighttime if I'm like getting the food or doing something. I get some of these, even daytime too, I get some of these, I'm sorry, foot draggers I call them. I feel insulted. Cause it's like massage, chica. It's like, do I look like I'm the guy that is out here trying to buy some trim? I got on flip-flops. I'm dirty. I got this t-shirt. I'm walking. You see me every day, and that's how I look at it. Like they don't have the respect for, particularly black men here in DR, because they think every black man here is to buy trim. Like you here, you enjoy. I live here, and most of these girls, not all, most of the ones that selling trim, they just think every brother is like a sucker.
A mamoon in Spanish. A tonto, which is fool. A idiota. A stupido. Yeah, that's what they think, man. And I get offended.
I keep walking. I don't even reply. I don't even accept. I just keep walking. The other day, one was like, oh, Moleno doesn't respond. He doesn't talk. I'm like, you're insulting me. I feel insulted that you think you have an opportunity for me to give you my time, or even no, because
I'm picky, bro.
You dirty, you work out. I don't judge them. They got whatever means necessary. I used to clean somebody's house that I was hanging out with just to make ends meet. That's what it takes. If that's what you feel like you gotta do, but for me to stop me and try to talk to me or touch me, oh man, I remember one time I snapped or what, I was like, what? I remember I just snapped and she looked at me like, what the hell, what's wrong with you? Like, yeah, putting your filthy hands on me, that's what's wrong with me.
Bro, I'm picky, man. I'm very picky. I mean, you know, I'm not saying all the chicks I've met in life is like dime pieces, but what the hell is a dime piece? Because if you get 9s and 10s, odds are they're gonna come with 9 to 10 problems. You know,
If they're 9s and
you give me a solid, a real strong 6 or 7, man, and I'm cool. But she got to be genuine with a good heart. Because my thing is, like I said, I got a knack with meeting good women. And like I said, they nice looking women or whatever, they sexy or whatever, and they hold it down the best they can. Because, see, a woman is doing that and she's not looking at me like I'm a payday, because a lot of these women, don't care what country you go to, they think survival first, second, and third.
Yep.
You know, they think it's survival. So you thinking they, you know, miss love you long time and all that stuff. They looking at you, first of all, as a business proposition.
It's an opportunity.
Now, if you come to call some women, and you're gonna have to vet. See, you guys, man, you gotta know how to vet. But I get it. If you're only here for a weekend or a week, you probably don't have time to sift through all the bull crap. But see, I guess with me, because I've traveled a lot, and I've been coming here so long, I can tell right off the bat who is gonna be cool and who don't even waste your time.
Yep.
And so I know I got people that when they travel, when they go into these countries, they will email or text or call me and say, Drew, I know you get out, hey man, this, that, and the other. And I don't mind putting people on game, because the more game and knowledge you get, the better you're gonna be to eliminate potential issues, man.
The only problem with that?
The game is getting back home in the same piece that you left with.
Yep. Or better, or feel better.
You feel better.
It's
Right.
like I'm light. I feel good. The thing is, that's great. I try to do that, but some of them don't listen to that knowledge. Like they take it and they do the opposite, or then they're like, no, somebody else told me this. Okay. Then when you call me and you complain about what happened, that's not me.
Saint, like I said, I have touched on some of every region in this world. You know, like I said, I've been to Germany, I've been to London or whatever, but I don't really mess with Europe too much. Like I said, Europe, I like the historical aspect of Europe, but as far as you go in there looking for action, Blanco Mohair is not really my thing. But you know, here's the one truism, man. Don't let your head south of the border control the head that's on your shoulders.
Yep.
Man, don't be thirsty and desperate, because these women, they can smell that on you.
Yep.
Now, for me, Santo Domingo is my spot. If you go to Punta Cana, mostly women go to Punta Cana, guys are taking their girl or families. Santo Domingo is kind of like a hodgepodge mixture, but I like Santo Domingo. Sosua, if you're going north like Santiago, if you like light-skinned women, that's the land of them. Santiago, they tend to have better family. I used to date a girl in Santiago. They come from better families, so they're not gonna be as thirsty. Their family. You know, this girl, her family had doctors, lawyers, politicians, or whatever in it. So she wasn't out here like a lot of these other chicks be. Even though I've been noticing now a lot of people, because it's cheaper to live up there, so a lot of people from Santo Domingo are infiltrating Santiago. So of course it's changing the dynamic. And then you got where a lot of I call them the packs of wolves go, Sosua.
Yep.
Personally, I can't stand Sosua. I don't like it. You go up there, it just be packs and packs of guys up there, mostly black guys, and they walk around like a pack of wolves looking for meat. But it's okay, because you know who else up there? Putas. That's what, on Thursday, Friday, if you catch a bus from San Domingo, they come all the way down from the southern parts, and they go check them buses all to Sosua to make that money on the weekends. They know the wolves gonna be there. So I guess it works out. I don't like Sosua. Sosua is a beautiful place.
It used to be top tier.
It's great. I don't like it.
Now it ran down. It used to be top tier.
I don't like it.
I'm not gonna lie. I went there, right? I think COVID. Dude I used to hang out with, he's like, yo, we gotta go. I went there. It was truly Candyland, but it was good quality, all that. But the thing is, between all the guys paying online, OnlyFans, models on Instagram, they don't have to. The good-looking ones don't have to go to Sosua anymore. They got it all online now. So I went there again. I think a year and a half ago, a buddy of mine came. He wanted it. We went up there, and I was disgusted.
Yeah,
I
man.
was just like,
Yeah.
there's nothing here that's good enough
Yeah.
for me to feel like waste my time. And they're all grabbing you and touching you. It's like, yo,
They don't care if you, because I went up there, when I went up there with the chick I was dating in Santiago, and I'm telling you, man, they didn't care.
Nope.
They would be walking past the restaurant, man, they looking like, hey, we'll take her too. They didn't care. And I'm like, are you that thirsty for money?
Yep.
You don't have no standards. And like I said, some guys might look at this like I'm a lame or whatever. Man, that's fine. But see, you thirsty sons of guns, y'all be the dudes be getting drugged and robbed and taken advantage of because you don't have no standards. You'll put your little pecker in anything with a hole. Y'all come down here because you know a lot of y'all, you don't get no women back where you're from.
and that's the number one cause of
And I'm
it.
telling you, look on them, I can look at them videos like, you ain't get no trim at the crib. So you come to these places and see these chicks might be thinking you spend a little money, they thinking that you balling, but you know back in the crib, you the Amazon truck driver, you the short order cook at a restaurant. And I'm not saying that those are bad, you know, we know in America you gotta get it how you can get it. But you save a few checks, somebody told you about the DR, Colombia,
and
whatever,
you jump.
and you come in like, and you looking like,
Coming hot.
You fat with receding hairline, effed up teeth, cockeyed, whatever, but you spending that dinero, so you feel like these guys, these women just love me. Man, they don't love you, man. They just love your money. And again, but if you only here for a weekend or a week, you probably don't have time to sift, and unless you're lucky, you don't have time to really sift and you know, figure out who's who. Bro, I don't speak the best Spanish, but bro, I'm telling you, I know how to pinpoint good chicks, man.
And once you learn Spanish, it's easier
Learn
for
that
you.
shit.
Because
Learn it.
all you gotta do is make them laugh. A puta, regular girl, successful, middle class, poor class. And once you make a Latin woman laugh, the rest is history because she feels, okay, I can get laughter out of you. You put in the effort to learn my language. I'm gonna do better by you. And that's one of the biggest things that something I
Even if
personally
your
learned.
Spanish is broken,
You trying.
You're trying.
Yep.
You're trying because see, it's no knock on my Dominicano brothers, but for the common thing that a lot of Dominican and even Colombian, and I think this is Latin America, period, that they have, because you'll ask them, you know, well, what's up? How do you don't date your own guys? They don't, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Latin men have a habit of being machismo. Which
Yeah,
is always
macho, yeah.
They're very controlling and domineering.
Yep.
It's like, you know, like for instance, let's move off DR for a second. Even though I know what happens here. Let's go move to, let's say, Colombia or even Mexico. Like these guys, they'll go pluck these girls when they're young. Barely
Yep.
turn 18, 19, 20.
And mold them
They
into-
get them indoctrinated. They paying for everything for them. So the woman are like, oh man, this guy's taking care of everything. So they fall in that false sense of security, which is not a great thing. So the guys don't want them to work. They don't want them to go to school.
And
Not
so-
so much because they want to feel like a man taking care of everything. They don't want that woman to be exposed to other men.
Yep.
And if she feel like, oh, this guy's over here great, and then this dude around here is a bendejo, then she might leave him. So they keep him at the house, put babies up in him. So now where you gonna go? He done took care of everything. But see what's happening when you start aging and when you start hitting that 30 mark,
They start going looking
they
for
out there getting other
the
women.
younger one,
They
and
get
now
other women,
you're like,
and they gonna
oh,
leave
shoot.
your ass. And now guess what? You don't have no education,
Yep.
no skills, no money. And so now you stuck with these kids. And where you gonna be? You're gonna be on these online platforms trying to either finesse men out of money or you trying to find, you ain't selling no tail, but you want a man
Now you're
that's gonna help
looking
take
for
care
a
of you.
foreigner that's gonna come in and be like, all right, look, it's okay, you got these kids. And then the messed up thing is they start trying to run the game on the foreigners. Now it's like, if you want to be with me, you got to take care of these kids. If you want to do this, you got to do this. And then it's a mind thing. I know a lot of my boys I met and know personally, and they deal with them like, man, I'm not even going to go touch it. But it's crazy, the game. But let me ask you this, right? Obviously, been coming here, a lot of things have happened. What's something that, if speaking of just DR, that you like, you know what, I don't quite like this, and if I could, I would change this about DR.
I'm gonna tell you something. the work ethic or the lack thereof. Now you will see like you break the guy to here to paint your floor. You see people working the construction. I see even women. They're selling produce or whatever the case is. They're trying to do something, but the work ethic collectively
It's like
it is
1 to 2.
They're and I'm not gonna say it's everybody. They're lazy.
Lazy as fuck.
That's the one thing I do not like about the DR. They want money, but they do not want to work for it. Even like the Uber drivers, right? I'm gonna tell you something. This happened. I think one time I was here. The young lady was leaving the spot. Called the Uber because that is protocol here, man. They not paying for no taxes. You got to pay for the taxi, pay for the Uber, whatever. It's $5-10, whatever. Okay, and so I think she was in North San Domingo. It wasn't that far. I think the Uber ride was like about $3.62, which give or take that's
6, 7 cents.
It's because let me see.
Yeah, it's
500 is $10, so 300 about a little under $6 or something like that, right?
6 and change.
Yeah. So he accepted the ride. He got the girl. Now he was taking it. Then I noticed he had called me, and I'm like, well, I don't speak Spanish like that. What the hell are you saying? So I had texted her like, oh, is your ride okay? Because I'm always gonna be attentive, man. Because I feel like you come to hang out with me, I'm your responsibility till you get back to your crib. I ain't gonna leave you out there bad. So she was saying, no, man, this guy don't want to take me to my house. I'm like, what the hell, man? He accepted the ride, so he was gonna just drop the girl off anywhere. I said, nah, don't tell him to do that.
I've seen that.
Brent, tell him to bring you back. So they weren't even gone, bro. 7 minutes. He had bought her back. He wanted me to give him 200 pesos. I said, what the hell you mean, man? You didn't even take her to where you got to go. Why did you accept the ride? And so, if this was America, I would have fought on that hill, man.
Yeah.
He maybe want to blaze him in his jaw. And I'm not a confrontational, violent person, but I don't like nobody trying to get over on me and take advantage of me. So,
and
he wanted 200 pesos. So I'm sitting here like, bro, for about what, $5? You want to go there for $5? And so, I went on and I gave him a little 200 pesos and I called the girl another Uber, but she was pissed. I was even more pissed because of what he did. And that's another thing, man. You got to be aware of the hustle. Because I know when I first came here, I think my first time here, and I guess this dude thought I was green as hell. And I used to stay at the Embassy Suites a lot. Embassy Suites, great hotel, one of the best ones out here. I used to stay over there. And so girl was coming over, and she was coming from down close to Boca Chica. If you know what Boca Chica is, that's like the south version of Sosua, man.
Yeah, that's Las Americas. That's all they're doing. They're going out there tricking.
So she was coming past the spot, and so now I had just came from down to Boca. Because one of my favorite restaurants down there called the Nancy. I love their food. That's now their food is really good. And so I just came from down there. I think the ride probably cost me about $15 or something like that. Like, about 1,500 pesos, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so it might have been a little bit because that's
about right. That's about 24 bucks.
Yeah. And so he was dropping the chick off, and he was trying to say, oh yeah, 200 pesos. I'm like, man, that's cheap for coming from that way. I just came from that way. I said, well, 200 pesos? He said, no, 200 US. Saint, I cussed that dude out in my broken Spanish. I said, dude, you must think I'm a sucker. I had, Chicago people good. It's like, man, I'm from Chicago, man. Us in New York, man, we co-wrote the book on game, man, with ghost writers from Detroit, Philly, and LA. So I know what I'm.
Especially
I'm not paying you back.
He brought a girl and he saw you. And
I said, you could take this bitch and you could take her back from where she came. I'm not about to pay, because he wasn't an Uber. He was like a regular taxi.
And that's what they try to do when it's regular taxi.
Yeah.
It's a system they got.
Yeah.
Sometimes the girl's part of it. Oh, I only ride my taxis. I don't do Uber. Me personally, if I'm not even in that field of dating right now anyway, when I was dating, a woman would tell me that, oh, I only use my taxi drivers. I removed myself. I said, never mind, I'm out.
That's a setup all day, bro.
Like that, whatever. Because if Uber is safer than that taxi driver.
They got the PIN system now where you got to get a driver PIN. Fellas, ladies, when you go to these countries, if they got Uber, and don't get me wrong, I done heard stories about some of the Ubers be shady too, be on that kidnap stuff. I've never had no problems. use Uber.
Uber.
Do not use no taxi from the airport. These jitney cab dudes is trying to get some hustles. Use an Uber. It's safer. You can track these people. Don't use nobody's taxi.
Yep.
Word to the wise.
Yep.
Yeah, but see, like I say, man, that back it's just the laziness, man. I mean, you know, these jokers, they just want you to give them something. That's
nothing.
and I don't respect that, man. Get out if you got to work 2 jobs. Because when I first came in, I used to listen to chicks like, "Oh, it gets so hard."
I don't have this. I don't have this.
And I started listening to it. I said, "Nah, what it is, you either don't have the education, because to be honest with you,
Or you don't have the want to.
You're right. Some of these women, bro, they probably haven't even really got through grade school.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely got no secondary, escuela secundaria, which is secondary education in high school. So it's like they have relied on their looks to get them what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I say, it's nothing more sadder than you see a older woman that still trying to out here finesse and hustle. Because when these men come to these countries, like I'm 53. I don't even want to deal, even in America. In America, I don't even take anybody serious under 40. If I'm going to these countries, if you under 30, 35, I'm not going to deal with you, man, because them be the ones, like
They don't have the
Colombia,
mindset.
them be them young chicks, them be the ones to be on the drug and robbing stuff. Because if a woman has kids and she's older, she's not going to be too
Process
quick.
different.
Yeah, she's not going to be too quick to be on those shady stuff, because she get caught up, and get arrested, get her ass beat or whatever. Who gonna take care of kids? But them younger, little hot 25, 28, 30-year-olds, them the ones you gotta look out for, man, because they're the ones that have you screwed up. So that's why I tell you, you gotta work. But it's definitely the laziness and the conniving, trying to hustle you, man. I don't run across it as much now than I did when I first came here, but because I'm used to it, I know what it is.
And then you know where to go. You're not meeting no one like that in Blue Mall.
Yeah.
Like if you go there, you're gonna get the service. For people that's restaurant, they're gonna give you the service. Talk to a woman, she's either into you or she's not into you. There's no hustle.
Yeah.
Like the way you're staying. So, man, thank you guys. Man, Andrew, appreciate it coming in. This is another episode of Life NDR. Before we go, anything else you want the people to know about you or when traveling, what they should do and should not do?
Hey, again, I'm just a guy, I love to travel. This is my thing, man. I know there's a lot of guys out there probably been in a lot more countries and things, and that's cool. I go to the places that I like going. So in the Latin countries, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Canada, I used to work and live in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia and Dubai. So I've been to Dubai several times. Now I'm starting to work on Africa. I've been to Egypt, but to me, Egypt is not Africa. Mm-hmm. So this fall, I'm gonna start going over to the motherland, to Ghana and Nigeria and Kenya and Tanzania and stuff. I'm gonna start working on that. I'm a father. I got a 20-year-old son. Man, I'm just down to earth brother, man. Anybody that know me know how I am. I'm not a liar. I'm not a BSer. If I tell you something, it's factual. I didn't vetted it. It's not nothing that I didn't just, got off the internet or I didn't heard somebody say. This is stuff that I actually lived or did. As far as the people that's in the travel space, go and see some of this world, especially my brothers and sisters, man. If you got your passport, because we the last ones to get up on anything. If you got your passport, don't just stop in Jamaica and Bahamas, and that kind of stuff. Man, it's a big world out here, but go where you feel appreciated, not just tolerated.
Yep.
Okay? Be safe. Don't assume anything. Don't go with that typical, whether you black, white, whatever. Don't go these places with that typical American arrogance. Embrace the culture. Try to learn even the basic language. Don't go over there with an attitude. Like if somebody did something to you, you're gonna snap and spaz out, because you'll quickly learn with the authorities. They don't care about you being in America. They get off on the rest of America. They'll have you stuck in some crap hole jail, and it'll be about 2 months before your mama figure out what happened to you. So, go travel, be safe, God bless. Cat Daddy out.
Hey, man, give it up for Cat Daddy. Hey, again, thank you for tuning to another episode of Life NDR podcast show, sponsored by Blender Cycle, located in La Zona Colonial, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. That full address is Jose Reyes, Calle Jose Reyes 51 and La Zona Colonial. Come check us out, and it is the vibe. As always, I love you guys. I am because we are.